So coming up is our short-term view for the coming week. We always do this every single week. We're going to do it a little differently this week as we want to mix it up. And you're going to see that instead of doing our short-term view, which we do a little piece of what we do for our members on the stock market, this week we're going to do it on the metals market. You're going to see a much more advanced view of the short-term view of gold, silver, platinum, and copper. I think you're going to find it very interesting. If you're missing the short-term view of the stock market, do become a level 2 or 3 member. Level 3 members, we have a special this week. You'll be able to get all of our rankings and trade setups on the 80 best traded symbols that there are, stocks, ETFs, and futures. And you will also then get our whole video library, 9 different categories of videos, including the short-term view of the stock market, which you're probably missing right now. And then you can get that special for half price. Look at everything for a month, $43. Write to Slim at askSlim.com. And I will then send you a special link, and you'll be able to sign up for level 3 and get all of that fantastic information. Level 4 is our charts that you're looking at, which we send out to subscribers, and then they get everything else too. So just want to let you know about what all our members are. So send me that email, and then I will be able to send you that special to level 3 and all of our videos and rankings and trade setups. Here comes this week's special short-term view. So here is our analysis of the metals market, our short-term view. Remember, we're looking at the daily charts. We're also looking at the momentum on the daily and the momentum on the intraday pattern. So doing comparisons, of course, against gold and silver and platinum and copper. What had happened, and basically we've been saying that gold was the strongest, silver the next, platinum the weakest of those three. Copper, we were unsure about it, and it really came to life this week. So interesting patterns when we look at the short-term view for these metals markets. This is the short-term chart on the gold market. Now, what we expected in the last week was that we said, well, it could get up to like 1297. Let's just look at these last 1.5 big cycles right in here. And then we thought if it broke down towards the 1260, 1297 was where we thought it would peak, and we thought it would have a downward movement, and if it broke down to 1260, that it would then be entering our buy area. Here's that 1260 level right here. We almost tagged the high on that right there as it ran into that cycle peak resistance. Now, our pattern was suggestive of a correction, and we got that. We thought it would be, a little choppier than it was, but we made a comment that that gold was still going to maintain an upward bias, and here you could see it's got the strong upward bias in there, and that's why we think that it's going to bottom soon and then turn up. Now, silver, we said that it was likely to be weaker, and we thought that the downside projection was at around $17. You can see right over here it got down to $17.13, so we were pretty spot on right there. In the silver market, we think it's got another couple days and then an upward turn, so we're going to look for 1 to 3 days on the downside in there. In silver, the same thing that we see here in the gold market, /GC, looking for, maybe 2 to 4 days in here is the way that lines up. We get that from these cycle patterns right in here. This is the silver, and you could see it bottoms about a day earlier than the gold one does right in here, and then they turn up. So that's really what I'm looking at. Note we have this marked for our subscribers that it is a buy zone right there. So likely that there's a good long side opportunity coming in the gold market. Here's gold momentum. You could see Here's what I really like: when you have positive momentum in here and you get the projection oscillator oversold, that brings usually more rallies. You can see a similar spot right over here, projection oscillator oversold, and it just simply continued on the upside. You can see this way back over here in February, projection oscillator oversold, and then to the upside again. So this is a bullish internals when we see this, and you got to like that. Take a look at silver/CL, and you could see that right there. I don't want CL /SI. That's a little peek at the negative light crude, and you can see in here projection oscillator oversold. Still have positive momentum in there, even though it's a little bit weaker than we expected, or a little bit weaker than gold, but as we expected. Here's a little peek at the platinum in here, and you can see platinum is getting under the slim ribbon. So again, platinum is the weakest. And take a look at copper/HG, and you can see in here copper exploding in here as all this talk about infrastructure again has got copper picking up, as well as we're seeing that in the steel stocks and such. So copper, a much better look. You could see in here that it exploded here past this resistance level right there. Now we're looking for copper to pull back also for a few days in here. We think that this is kind of an anomaly that broke up through that moving average. You can see that it did the same thing right over here and then got into further correction, but this only has about a week to correct after that. So we're looking for it to roll over here and then move up again, and that could establish a better intermediate pattern than we have seen in here. So you can see a pretty improved chart when you look at that in copper. Here's the intraday patterns in here, and you can see that for the intraday patterns, as we get into this correction, the gold has lost its upward momentum. It's going to have to reestablish that, as platinum and silver has done. On the real short term, that little tip-off came a couple days ago on those slim ribbon signals right there that the upside momentum had been lost. Look at what copper did right over here, and you can't see the arrow there because it's blended into the green, but positive momentum established right there. So copper much better than it was, and that is a good look at the metals. Of course, that's our short-term view of the metals, and our longer-term view is what we do on Future Speak every single Wednesday, and then you'll be able to see the weekly cyclical patterns on there and how they all kind of fit together. So that's a look. I hope you enjoyed that video. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also go to askSlim.com and become a Level 1 member. No cost to you, and we have some special videos for you to see. I know you'll enjoy it.